Beggars can't be choosers, right? Well, not according to illegal migrants in Kent, Washington. They're now demanding you, the taxpayer, provide them with shelter.
So currently more than 200 migrants are housed in tents outside a former hotel that King County bought during COVID for quarantine, but the county says they can't afford to open the hotel as a migrant shelter. The migrants were supposed to be evicted from the area, but the Liberal County executive wouldn't allow the sheriff's department to get involved.
Joining us now, Discovery Institute fellow and independent journalist Jonathan Choe. Jonathan, great to see you. What is the reaction in the area to this? Because again, there are a lot of problems where you live and where you're from, and just the audacity of someone here in the United States illegally making demands on the taxpayers is really something else.
Yeah, this is being called full-blown extortion and an attitude of entitlement. And this isn't the first rodeo for this group. This group of illegal immigrants, they're being led by several far-left activists who have been behind some of the pro-Hamas protests in this region, as well as the BLM protests over the past few years. So they've now latched onto this latest agenda of theirs, and they're now essentially saying, look, King County, give us this motel that was actually going to be designated for America's homeless, and we're not going to leave this plot of land until you do so. And might I add, this is not the first time, but the third time this group has taken over a city or county park.
So, Jonathan, Seattle's a liberal bastion, if I'm going to be honest, my opinion. But I wonder if the liberals in Seattle who would probably say, listen, we've been pretty generous. We've been pretty giving. We've been pretty open, pretty accepting to all these migrants coming to our community. We've given them a lot. Are liberals getting offended by the demands of the migrants who the citizens have been so generous in their offerings to them? Are liberals turning on them?
Yeah, it really depends who you ask. But I mean, you've definitely picked up on a dynamic, Sean, that's starting to develop. I want to be very clear. This group of migrants, they started off at a church in Tukwila, just 15 minutes outside of Seattle, and they had an opportunity to stay at this church. But several months ago, they decided to go off on their own and ask for better accommodation, more resources. That's why they're demanding now motels and hotels. So you do have this contingent of progressives and the so-called liberals who are now saying, how much more do they want? And obviously the critics are saying is if you give these people an inch, they're going to take a mile. And that's what's happening right now.
We want to move on to this, Jonathan. The state of Washington is taking the phrase, "it takes a village," a little too seriously, and now they're actively trying to co-parent with families by launching a helpline for kids to help them deal with issues like gender identity or, quote, anything that makes life hard. Oh, and it's going to cost taxpayers about $1 million a year. And according to, I think, the Attorney General, it's for ages 0 to 25. But again, this concept of the government parenting children with the family is just astonishing. What do you make of this?
Yeah, well, look, I'm hoping that this new initiative, it's a national hotline that'll connect teens in theory to the help that they need. I hope it works. But critics right away, as you said, especially parental advocates, have seized on the gender identity piece because here in Washington, the state can essentially take your kids away if they want gender-altering care, and parents don't have to be notified. So this is another example, critics say, of government overreach and an even easier pathway, a click away for any confused teen who wants gender-altering care, now going straight to the government, bypassing parents and loved ones, and going straight through an app.
Wow, unbelievable.
I can go one further. It sounds like an avenue to indoctrination if you're not careful, of introducing these ideas to kids, not the other way around. But sorry.
No worries. Jonathan Choe, we appreciate you being with us. Thanks for keeping it posted on the craziness in Seattle.
Thank you,
Very
Jonathan.
grateful.